If you love playing MTGO, please make sure you check out my sponsors in the description below. Mana Traders, I've got a sweet discount code. Just head there and you can start playing whatever deck you want. Hey everyone, Man from Total MTG here and welcome to Thursday's Deck Tech. So what have I got for you today? It is Selesnya Knights. Now, interesting, I did a poll on this because originally I was going to call it Mono White Knights because it literally splashes a couple of colours for green. But like was pointed out to me, this is why I asked, if you can't tap for the colours as they are, it ceases to be mono. So it is Selesnya Knights, although there's only a little splash of green going in this deck. So if you haven't seen Monday's Deck Tech, please make sure you go and check that out. There will be links below and everything above. And if you are new to us, you can hit that subscribe button. That really, really does help. And if you like what you see, don't forget to hit the like button as well, because that supports the channel for free. Right, so let's get on to today's deck. Selesnya Knights. We have 25 creatures in the main. We have 12 spells and we have 23 lands. We're going to start off by looking at our creatures. That starts off with a 4 of a Dauntless Bodyguard. What a great one drop this is. It's a 2/1 for 1. When it enters the battlefield, choose another creature you control. Sacrifice the bodyguard. That chosen creature gains indestructible to end a turn. Don't hold back on this. If you've got it in your hand and you want to get that 2/1 down for 1 with no other creature on the board, it's still a great early aggro play for us. So don't ever just think, oh, I'll wait for another creature. Get that 2/1 on the field. If it becomes later in play, it might protect one of our Anthem creatures. That's all well and good. But we do want to get the aggro Knights going. The next one we have is a 4 of, and it's not actually a knight, it's a vampire soldier, but it's such a good 2-mana spell for this deck. It's a Danto Vanguard. As long as it's attacking, it gets +2/+0, so it becomes a 3/1, and you can pay 4 life and it gains indestructible to end of turn. So it can block anything and not die. Sometimes you're better off taking the 4 life, perhaps they're attacking you for 6, you can save yourself and keep that blocker there. Or, you just might want to protect it because you do need it. The ability of having that extra pay 4 life, it's a nice little effect for this creature. And like I say, a 1/1 that potentially is a 3/1 attacking, very good for 2 mana. The next 4 of we have is Knight of Grace, hexproof from black, so no Vraska's Contempt coming at it or anything like that. It is a really nice card, Knight of Grace, and it will get +1/+0 as long as any player controls a black permanent. Now this obviously won't be us because we only run white and green, but still a 2/2 first strike creature, 4/2 that could potentially be buffed up with our Anthem creatures. This is a very nice addition to the deck. Another great early aggro creature. One of our first Anthem creatures is the 4 of Benalish Marshal. Does cost triple white, but that's no worry for us. Gives all other creatures we control +1/1. Comes in originally as a 3/3, so if we can get 2 of these on the field, they will buff each other, which is very nice. Then they become 4/4s, obviously. But we do have another Anthem creature in there that's Valiant Knight that you'll see in a second. But Benalish Marshal can make the Dauntless a 3/2. The Knight of Ace could be anything from a 3/3 to a 4/3. Just an all-round great creature, and of course it has to go in a deck as a 4 of. So this is the green splash, it's Knight of Autumn. Great, amazing card from Guilds of Ravnica. Had to splash the green for this because this is just such a strong card. This has helped me definitely win games. The gaining 4 life potentially sometimes has been absolutely amazing. Putting 2 counters on it so it becomes a 4/3. Like I said, with the Anthems, it could be a 5/4, 6/5. Destroy target artifact enchantment when it comes in. The multiple abilities on this card is absolutely amazing. No wonder it's seeing other formats as well outside of Standard. Knight of Autumn is in there as a 4 of. Like I said, we do have Valiant Knight in there as a 3 of as well, because it gives all knights we control +1/1. So it won't pump up your Adanto, but it's going to hit, pretty much every other creature that we do have. It can give knights double strike by paying the 5 to end of turn. That can just be a game-winning move. Nice body, 3/4 for 4 as well. Does get hit by Lava Core, but there's so much that does, but we don't have to worry about that too much. We want to be aggroing out. Sometimes we just have to play this just to pump up the other creatures, and then that is enough to win the game. So they can't even cast their Lava Core because it is sorcery speed, but that little pump Anthem effect might be all we need. And what's great about it as well is that Benalish Marshal and Valiant Knight, they're not legendary, so we can put multiples of these on the field. Our last creature is our honorary knight. It's not a knight, but it's Chalet, Voice of Plenty. 3/4, makes all our Planeswalkers and other creatures we control will have hexproof, which is very good because they're going to have to remove Chalet first. We do have this as a 2 of, and we can put a 1/1 counter on each creature we control by paying the 6 mana. Very nice. Has to go in a lot of, when you're doing tribal decks, Chalet is great to go in there because it gives you a bit of that spot removal help when they're trying to get rid of the anthems like the Benalish Marshal or the Valiant Knight. Chalet definitely does a job in a deck and warrants its 2 spaces. So that's our 25 creatures. Now let's get on to the spells. I've got a 3 of Assure Assemble in there. The 2 mana for Assure, put a 1/1 counter on target creature. That creature gains indestructible end of turn. That's really sweet. Instant speed, stops it from being destroyed, and puts a counter on it as well. Because like I said, they will be hitting your Benalish Marshals, your Valiant Knights. And this for 2 mana is a great way to protect it. Now the Assemble as well, if it's getting towards the late game, we can make 3 2/2 White Elf Knight creature tokens with Vigilance. That could honestly come into the battlefield. I've had them obviously as 5/5s when they've come in. Because I've Benalish and Valiant Knights in there, the game's stalling out. And then to get 3 5/5s for 6 mana, that is absolute value. We have a couple of Legions landing in there. Nice early play. Only a couple of these. I don't want a 4 of. When it ends the battle, create a 1/1 white Vampire creature token. But we want it to nice and flip. We can make extra tokens in there. Which is in there as a 2 of because I just think it's a really cool card. And it can obviously give us help with a little bit of lifelink if we need it as well. Of course, 4 of History Benalia. Card is just essential for this deck. Mates, Knights. Great getting multiple of these on the field that I've had many times as well. You create a 2/2 Knight with the first instant, then you do another 2/2 Knight. Then it gives all your Knights +2/+1 till end of turn. Absolutely epic when this comes down. You got Anthems down, your Knights. They're not small 2/2 2/1s anymore. They are huge, huge monsters. They can, they can compete with the mono green monsters. Maybe not as big as Gauta, but we will be amassing the field and then just going in for the win. So we have a little touch of removal in the main as well. We've got a couple of seal away. Flash removal when something's tapping in, attacking us or tapping. Very nice. I like that in there. 2 mana as well. And we've got Conclave Tribunal that we could obviously use for Convoke. We've got a lot of creatures. We can make tokens as well. That's just in there as a one-off, but we do have more removal in the side. So let's take a look at the land base now. Well, I've got 4 Temple Gardens and 4 Sun Petal Groves to tap for our green mana spells. I think that's fine. I've not needed any forest in there at all. Those 8 lands have been absolutely perfect. The rest is made up all of plains, and then there's a 1 of Arch of Orazca. Because you can draw a card, activate this ability if we get City's Blessing, we've got a pretty good chance of getting that, and it gives us a nice little draw engine there. So before we get onto the sideboard, let's take a look at the plan of the deck. I think it's pretty simple for this one. It's tribal, so you know what you want to do. You want to amass your tribe onto the battlefield. Early plays, we've got Dauntless, Adanto, Knight of Grace. Then you're getting in your pumping creatures. You're on the battlefield. You've made those early little attacks. And then all of a sudden, the Benalishes are coming down. The Valiant Knights, they're making them bigger and bigger. Sometimes you just need to get that little bit more damage through is what I've found with this deck. Knight of Autumn is a card that is just absolutely essential for this deck. It's amazing. Putting counters on, destroying artifacts or enchantments or gaining life. It's just so adaptable, and that's why I had to add green to the deck. Assure will obviously assure what it does. It makes our creatures, it helps out when they're trying to do the spot removal. We can make them indestructible. Obviously, it doesn't get around Vraska's Contempt there, but there's still cast downs and burn spells and everything like that this can protect you from. Assemble is nice, putting extra creatures on the battlefield. That's never going to be a worry. You can put them down, and you'll have your Chalet there as well to protect your battlefield if needed. The enchantments in there, History of Benalia, playing them multiple times is really, really good. And then we've just got a little bit of spot removal. And what I'd say is, if you're obviously playing against a lot of aggro creatures, we do have some, we have some baffling ends in the sideboard. Ixalan's Binding maybe to stop, and Settling Wreckage that you'll see in a minute as well. So we do have, different types of removal that we can bring in, help us against Planeswalkers or anything like that we might find hard. But all you want to be doing is always attacking if you can, getting that life total down as small as you can, and then just winning the game. So onto the sideboard now. This is a cool card I've added here, Sphinx's Decree. Because what I noticed was before I put this in the sideboard was I was building up my board, and then they do the mass board wipe or anything like that. So by casting this against those kind of tricksy decks, it just means you might have attacked in, you might just need that last one attack. You'll be wary of that Wrath, you'll be wary of the Settle the Wreckage. But if you can play the Sphinx's Decree, get it in cast and not get it countered or anything like that, it just stops your opponent from doing that next turn, which sometimes is enough for the win. So that is in there as a 2 of. More removal, like I said, we've got a couple of baffling ending there where exiles target creature with mana cost 3 or less. They will get a dinosaur if they do get to remove it, but it's still a very, very nice removal spell. An extra Conclave Tribunal is there, and also a couple of Ixalan's Binding, which hopefully you never get to cast it on Teferi, because they've always got those counter spells ready, but it just means we've got a card to come in and try and help against really, really awkward cards. We've also got a couple of Settle the Wreckage, exile target attacking creatures. Very nice in there. Means they go and get the lands, but it just means nothing goes to the graveyard. So no graveyard shenanigans or bringing anything back. Settle is great for that. The one creature we have in the sideboard is a Lyra Dawnbringer. You know, it's flying, first strike, lifelink, gets +1 to other angels, but we don't have to worry about it. This is just our, you know, it's going to help us a little bit with flying and can gain all important life. And they just don't expect it. I've brought this in and basically they're not expecting anything like a Lyra. They're seeing Knights. And Lyra can come in and honestly can just win you the game. We have to help us with removing some flying creatures. We've got a couple of Plummet in the sideboard. And then we've got some Planeswalkers in the side. So we can bring these in. I couldn't fit them in the main because I just want to be aggro from the start with this. I want to get my creatures down. I don't want to be tapping out for these. But sometimes these are great cards to bring in certain matchups. Ajani, Adversary of Tyrants, is there. Puts 1/1 counters on 2 target creatures. Returning target creature card coming across 2 or less from the graveyard. And obviously we have quite a few creatures that we can do this. We do have 12 in total that we can obviously bring back with that Ajani. The emblem is making more tokens. We're never going to say no to that. And the other last Planeswalker we have is a Vivian Reed one-of that has absolutely shot up in price at the moment. It's absolutely hideous, the price on this anyway, especially online. I don't know if it's in paper, but online it's absolutely mental. This will help you look at the top 4 cards, reveal a creature or land. We've got a lot of creatures in there, so we hope to be doing that. Also, a little bit of help with flying decks, destroying target creature with flying. Artifacts enchantment is the -3. And the emblem for us basically is just win the game because we give everything +2/2. Vigilance, Trampling, Indestructible. And with the amount of Knights that we will amass on the field, hopefully, potentially, that will be the winning move. So everyone, that is Thursday's Deck Tech. I am really trying to build this up on Arena for you. I'm about 6 cards away from having this deck ready for gameplay. Now, there's a possibility it could be up this week. If it is, check back on the channel for Saturday. You'll get that notification if you smash that bell as well, so then you'll never miss a video. If not, it might have to be next week for the gameplay of this deck. But I really hope to get it. I'm 6 cards away. I've been grinding all week on Arena trying to get the deck together. You know how hard it is, all you Arena players out there. Anyway, guys, I really hope you like the deck. It's great fun. It's very aggro, and it can definitely compete. I've been getting lots of good win with this, and I've managed to beat... I always test my decks against the mono-green deck, because I just think the mono-green deck is so good. So if I can, you know, out-aggro that, sometimes I know the deck's pretty sweet, because I rate the mono-green deck very highly. That's just my personal preference. I do rate it very highly. Anyway, guys, hope you've enjoyed the video. And please, please, if you're new to us, hit that subscribe button, as I say. And I will see you on the next video.